Hello, sports movie fans, and welcome to Locker Room Flicks Podcast. I am your host, Frank Sullivan. With me is my co-host, Frank Darling. Frank, how are you this morning?
Good. Another nice day in Florida. It's been beautiful out. Yeah, no rain, but
Yeah.
it's been good. It hasn't rained like 4 or 5 days, so
Really?
it will. Don't worry. When it starts, it will.
It's been on and off lately over here, and it's funny because we have the sprinkler system,
right.
and the guy came over and we have it on the app, so you can pretty much program everything when it goes off, test the zones. It takes the weather into effect.
Yes, that's excellent, man. That's really good.
And it's funny. I was we bought Stella a little blow up pool.
Right.
For when it gets warm out, because
That's
it's like
smart.
you gotta buy it now, because when you want to, there's gonna be none available.
No, there won't be. You're right about that. You're right. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, later on the line when she gets older, I was like, what do I need a little pool for? I'll just turn the sprinklers on.
There you go.
Just run through it.
She'll
Right?
have a ball. I never thought of that. Well, as a kid, I never had sprinklers in my yard.
No, you're right. I didn't think of that
yeah.
until the other day. I was like, it's got the sprinkler system.
That's a great idea. She'll have a ball out there.
And that's cool because I don't have to turn on the whole. I could just turn on one zone.
One zone, yeah.
And then that's
I never
it.
thought of that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty inventive, Frank. I like that.
And supposedly they're kind of not say eco-friendly, but they don't really waste a lot of water.
No, they don't. No, they're very good that way.
Yeah. So let's just turn them on.
How many zones you got, Frank?
7. 7 zones.
Wow.
I got a big yard.
You got a big yard.
One zone is kind of it's smaller because it's like to the left of my house, so it's part the neighbors is right there, so it only really does this little one section. So I could just do it right there in the front yard, and I can watch it from out there.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But
we got 3, a front side and the back and the side. But the back and the side, I have to do it manually because the solenoid in it's got to be replaced. But to do that, you got to shut off the main water. No, for the sprinklers. Remember, we have 2 mains here. One for our water in the house. So you got to shut that off and take that, because if you take that off with that main on, it's going to be a.
Really?
But I just turn it on. It's not a big deal. I turn it on manually for right now. It's no big deal. So
gotcha.
That's it.
No, that'd be good. Are you watching any other movies? Any other movies you want to talk about, or before we get on to the real movie? What are you watching?
What do you mean now? You're talking regular movies, you mean?
Yeah, just regular movies.
Okay.
What have you watched anything new, anything different?
No, we saw Damsel. I think I told you that already.
Damsel, that's
with
Molly Brown. Yep.
We saw that. We really haven't. I'm trying to think. We haven't seen any other. I seen one with Denzel Washington. It wasn't actually bad. It was called The Little Things. That's what it was called. He's like a sheriff in it, and something happened, and it happens again. It was pretty good. I mean, it's a B movie, but it was okay to watch.
Yeah.
No, we haven't watched any blockbusters. I want to see Napoleon. It's on now.
Yeah, I want to watch it
on Apple.
too. Is it on Apple?
Yeah.
Is it to rent or?
I don't know. It just says log into Apple, so I don't know.
Because I think you got to buy it because we have Apple. I'll check it after the episode because I think it's on there to it's like full price. That's why I was like,
maybe
I don't
that's
mind
what it is. No,
I don't mind spending the $4 or $5 to rent it, but I don't want to buy the movie.
No. Sorry, I don't want to do that. But I wouldn't. That's one of them I want to watch. My wife's seen Wonka on the airplane when we went to. The jet.
Okay.
I want to see it too, but once again, just like you said, you got to pay for it now. So I'll wait till it's free.
I think we're gonna watch the biopic about Bob Marley.
Yeah,
that's on Paramount Plus now, so you can watch that.
Yeah, I haven't. I love his music, but I never knew nothing about his background.
Same here. I know he had cancer, but I know that's all I really know. I don't know too much. I know he's got tons of brothers and nephews, and I think if you turn it onto the Sirius XM, I think he's got a whole station or something, and you always see it's like it's his relatives, the Marley name. Look out for it.
Oh yeah. He's something. He was different.
Yeah, very true. All right, well, let's get into the movie then.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, do you want to start it up?
Yeah, I'll start it up. Okay, the introduction to the movie. We picked the movie Shooting Stars. Release date was June 2nd, 2023. Now, with the box office info, for you people that are listening, it was premiered on Peacock, so it didn't go in the movie. So there was a $25 million budget. But,
yeah, really.
Yeah, but that's it. Directed by Chris Robinson, starring Mookie Cook as LeBron James, Caleb McLaughlin as... Yes, I'm sorry, I screwed up on that. Okay, Caleb McLaughlin as Drew Joyce III. Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Algie Smith as Ilya McGee, Dermot, these are tough names, Maroney as Keith Dambro, Wood Harris as Drew Joyce II, Scoot Henderson as Romeo Travis, Kaylee Everidge as Sheehan Cotton, and Avery Willis as Willie McGee. I had to put them all in there. There's a couple other we got to talk about, but yeah. Now here's a simple synopsis I came up with. Shooting Stars is the inspiring original origin story of a basketball superhero, revealing how LeBron James and his childhood friends became the #1 high school team in America, launching James' professional career. This actually had 3 nominations, and it did.
It had like a few little. Go ahead.
Yeah, the one win it had, I forgot what it was. It was a pretty decent, whatever it was a pretty decent win, whatever it was.
It was the Hollywood Music and Media Awards.
Yes.
For Best Original Score. I loved it. The music was actually really good in this.
The music was excellent.
Yeah.
Runtime, 1 hour and 55 minutes. I think we both watched it on Peacock.
Yep.
Right?
I don't know if you can find it anywhere else. Can you?
No. I don't think so. Not that I saw. Yeah, I don't think it was anywhere else. I think that's
I'm looking at on IMDb. It looks like you could rent it on Amazon Prime for like $6, so it's not bad.
Yeah, no, that wasn't bad at all.
It's worth a rent. I would rent it. I would have rented it. Yeah,
I would have watched it again. So so here we come to the the best part of our podcast.
Yep.
Frank's 5 fun facts. What do you got, Frank?
Yeah, these I had to kind of dig a little bit too. It's a newer movie.
Yes.
So this movie was shot on location all over Akron, Ohio, and Cleveland, Ohio. Some of the basketball scenes were shot at Case Western Reserve University near downtown Cleveland, Ohio. That's kind of like a location breakdown.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's good.
Let's see. The actor playing LeBron James, Mookie Cook, plays D1 college basketball at the University of Oregon. And the actor playing Carmelo Anthony, Jeff Howard, this is my second flag, plays D1 college basketball at the University of Michigan. So that was some of the
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they looked young. I mean, obviously they had to portray them at that age, but
yeah, right.
Fact number 3: the real Drew Joyce III is actually right-handed, but the actor portraying him, Caleb McLaughlin, is left-handed, so he's portrayed as a lefty in the movie. And same thing with actually Romeo Travis, is lefty in real life, but the actor playing him, Scoot Henderson, is right-handed, so therefore they kind of made him right-handed.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't really think it. I mean, is it a big detail? Kind of, but it's not necessarily like a huge detail. Like let's say something like I'm thinking like boxing,
right?
Where like whether you're a southpaw or whatever, you know what I mean? Right? I mean, because a lot of those NBA players can play right-handed and left-handed. It doesn't really matter.
Exactly. You're exactly right, and you should be able to play with either hand.
So, absolutely. I agree 100%. Let me see here. The actor playing Romeo Travis was Scoot Henderson, as I talked about earlier.
Right.
He plays the G League Ignite, which I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure it's another league or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
He is the youngest player ever to play in the NBA at 17 years old.
Wow.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah. And then for my last pack is kind of a little more of like a. This is kind of based off I think a book as well, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, yeah. It's based off a book. Yeah.
The movie only hints at challenges LeBron James faced growing up in a crime-ridden neighborhood. Their apartment, located in this part of the town, was filled with poverty. So that apartment he was at, was in a bad area.
Yeah, you don't think about that when you're watching it too much, but
I know. Yeah, again, they didn't really touch too much on it.
Yeah, they did.
And a little bit about James and James's mother gave birth to him at the age of 16, and James's biological father, Anthony McClelland, had an extensive criminal record, and he didn't meet James until his high school, until he was late in high school. So, and that just gives you a little bit of an idea of his background. And there's a lot more on it where his mom was by herself.
Right.
And again, as he says in the movie, he moved around a dozen times before he was even 10.
Yeah.
So
those are good.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is today, people listening, he's a billionaire now. So
I know.
There's a perfect example of somebody that took the horrible life that he had. We've done this 1,000 times on this podcast with other people.
Yeah.
And look what he turns it into. And he's a good guy. You can see it. Even in this show here, he really can see how he was. He was pretty reserved. He let everybody do the talking. He just sat there and listened.
Yeah, very very laid back. Yeah, you noticed that too. Yeah, he's not very outspoken.
Yeah, I think that's him though. I really do.
I agree.
Yeah, that was very good, Frank. Well, let's get into the first person, Mookie Cook. Now, did you read about it? They said they needed to find a person that was real good playing, and they did. Mm-hmm. And they had to teach him how to act. So that was so it worked out. Worked out, man.
Yeah, well, and I think too is they there's acting classes, and you can take the basics acting classes. It'd be harder for them to teach him how to play basketball.
That's for sure. Yeah, you're right about that. Definitely.
Because that's all I'm looking at. That's all this is the only really movie he's really done.
Yeah, he was in a couple other stupid things. I don't even know what they were. I think maybe he showed up in a couple other things, like for a second or something. But correct. This is really his. I think this is his first movie, though. I think.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if you mentioned Wood Harris.
Yeah, I got him.
Coach Drew. Did you?
Yeah.
He is. I mean, you name it. He's been in a lot of stuff. Yeah. He was great in this movie, man. I tell you,
I loved him. Yeah,
played a good father figure. I could say probably for all the kids.
He's a good actor, man. I like him. He's a real good actor.
Yes.
Remember the Titans? He was in Ant-Man, Creed 2. He's been in a lot of stuff, man. That's just to name a few of them. I mean, he's good. Unfortunately, he's not a leading actor, but he's a B actor, a good B+ actor. Yeah.
Correct. You're right.
And Caleb, I guess, that's Drew Joyce III, right? The little guy. He was. When I watched it, I forgot about it. He was in Stranger Things.
Well, and we're talking about Casey. I was like, you don't realize. I mean, he's playing a high school student, which he kind of can play it, but at the same time, you look at him now. I mean, he's let's see here. He's 23 right now. So that's the thing with Stranger Things is because there was such a big gap. I think. And again, because the last season is supposed to come out, I think they do a time jump and show them in college, and show them all in college. I think I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I think you're right.
Or they made digitally. I mean, you see, there's all ways to make it look.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox was like what in his 30s when he played Back to the Future or something like that, and he's supposed to play a high school student.
Yeah.
But people don't know about him is that he played. He was, I think, on Broadway and was in The Lion King and did Simba.
Who's this? Caleb McLaughlin?
Caleb.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Oh,
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I am pretty confident that he. I'm trying to look. Yeah, so he Broadway as young Simba for 2 years.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So I mean, he's got the stuff. So it's amazing to see where his career has gone to and where it's going to go because
definitely he's good he's a good personality too. Well, he was a lot of, let's face it, he did all the talking in that show basically.
That's kind of what I liked about this movie because again, although LeBron James, obviously the story is about LeBron James.
It is, right.
But it's centered around the 4 or the 5, the Fab
Yes.
5, you want to call it.
Yes.
But again, I mean, he's a better actor.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
I'm not counting Wood Harris, but out of all the kids,
yes,
I mean, you kind of have to lead on him to kind of lead the charge in the
Very
movie.
good. Yeah, the director did a good job with that, making that happen. Because if you don't have a good actor in there for the kids, it's going to get a little shaky. So you're right. That's a good point. You're right.
Correct. And we talk about all the other kids. As far as the other players like Willie McGee, who I don't really think he's got a big.
No, I couldn't find much that I know of. I mean, there are stuff on there. I just don't know the movies. Now remember, Sean Cotton was in Cobra Kai.
I knew I recognized him. Yeah, yes. but even then, he doesn't even have a big role.
No.
So
no.
As far as the actors wise, and I think this is probably why the budget was so low.
Yes.
Not so low, but they didn't. Again, for the actors they had, he did a really good job.
Yeah, I agree totally. He did a really nice job. I wish I knew more of Chris Robinson's movies. I did look, but I don't know. I've never seen them, so I don't know. Some were pretty decent with the IMDb's, but I don't know what they are. So I never heard of them.
Who are we talking about here?
Chris Robinson. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump the director.
Oh, the director. Gotcha.
I mean,
no, I briefly looked at him too.
Maybe you know a couple of those. I don't.
No, it's a lot of what's the word for it? I should say
ethnic.
Ethnic, yes.
They are. They're more ethnic.
Yes.
For
he's
the,
done
for the
Blackish.
African American. Yeah. For
Correct.
the African American people, it is. It's a lot of ethnic ones, which is fine. That's fine. I have no problem with that at all.
Yes.
But it's just like Spike Lee does the same thing. So,
very true.
Yeah, that's fine. You just do what you got to do. Hey, if it sells, that's the way I look at it.
How about Dermot Mulroney?
Yeah, you know where he's from? Way back, Young Guns.
Yeah.
Young Guns, my best friend's wedding, Scream 6.
He's another one of those actors that like C actor.
Yep.
He fills that role. He's been in tons of stuff.
He has. I know. I just named a couple, but he was in Young Guns with Emilio Estevez and all those guys. Lou Diamond Phillips. That's a long time ago. That's 88. That's 36 years ago. He's only a kid. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
All right. So we talked about the actors.
Right.
Actresses. I mean, it was just really just. His now wife Savannah.
Is that wild though? Is that wild? That's who he marries, and he's still married today.
I married Casey, and I knew her from high school, so
yeah, I know.
It happens.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty cool.
But yeah, I guess to get to his status, and let's be honest, I'm sure the women would throw themselves at him.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure he had a rough go, but I'm sure they're still together.
Yeah. That's got to be tough, man. Especially when you become that. You know what I mean? You become it now. Now you're the man. Now you're in the NBA. That's that'd be tough.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Like
yes.
you said, a lot of people knocking on your door.
Yes. But we talk. We'll get into the actual movie itself. So, like I said, I haven't seen this before, and I know you haven't seen it. So it's a brand new movie for us.
Yes.
Overall thoughts. What'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. Mm-hmm. Not to shout out for Michael Jordan. I'm really surprised Michael Jordan hasn't made a movie yet about his career. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I guess that's very true.
Sort. I would think so, But Babe Ruth's had movies. Luke Gehrig has. I'm going in baseball only because I know baseball a little better. But they've had movies about themselves. But not them, but people made movies about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really surprised at that.
Because there's not really a biopic about it. Space Jam touches up on a little bit of his career.
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah.
We did the movie Air.
Yeah.
Which is really more about the shoe. It's not really more about how, his actual career growing up.
And he might not want that. So, no.
Right. I think I saw something where this was. I think they had the script in 2018 or something.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I think it might have sat for a little bit. Maybe COVID has something to do with it.
Yeah, it could have been. Yep.
But I don't know, 'cause I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
But
how about good.
This is a good movie. This is a really good movie.
I liked it, man. Me and Linda enjoyed it. It was really good. I learned a lot of stuff about it. Didn't even know about him.
Correct. I also too is like I had again. I'm more of a Michael Jordan. Like
no, I
always
understand.
that debate.
Yeah.
It's funny too because like I said, my mother-in-law loves LeBron James. Can't, and she's I don't
really
say she craps on Jordan, but she loves LeBron James. So every now and then, I like to throw a little dig, dig at LeBron James to kind of gotta mess with her. It's too funny.
Well, Linda asked me about him as far as him and Jordan, as far as their. No, I said no. They never played with each other. He was already gone, Michael. That's what I was trying to tell Linda. Jordan came in. Jordan played with Shaq a little bit when he was older, and Kobe when he was older. In other words, they were older at the time.
People don't realize like Jordan. I mean, Jordan was hot in the early '90s when he was like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even think he graduated high school in 2003.
Yeah.
So and I think Jordan was done in like 2003.
Yeah. Pretty much like that. Yeah. And remember, it took LeBron 10 years in the NBA to win a championship. Imagine that, 10 years. And Jordan, I think it took about the same amount, or 7 years, 8 years. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, something like that.
Because they had nobody. Yeah. They had nobody around them. You got to have people around you to win. You can't win by yourself.
It's hard. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. It's like you got to have a good team, and again, there's something to be said about your teammates. You know, a lot of people say that. You know,
right. Exactly.
There would be no Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen.
No, there won't be though.
And you know what? Win. There might not be a LeBron James without his Fab Five.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. You're right.
Because you see, I mean, the coach, the first coach, you know, we talked about this too. The natural chemistry between the team.
Yes, right.
I mean, you're starting 4 or 5. I mean, they had it from day one.
Yes, they did.
And we were watching it. It's like you could see them on the court. They knew where everyone was going to be.
Yep.
At all times.
That makes a big difference.
It's just magic.
It is. You're right about that. Definitely. Yeah. How about the jersey thing? I threw that in there. When he gives him the jersey, the Wes Unseld jersey.
Now, let's talk about that.
Be honest. Have you ever heard of Wes Unseld?
No.
Okay. Played for the Baltimore Bullets. He came out of high school.
Yeah.
No draft. And he won a championship with that was the Baltimore Bullets back then.
Gotcha.
They won a championship. He was a big guy inside. He was about 6'10". He played like a 7-footer. Like a 7'3" foot. He was a beast. So that jersey would have been worth a lot of money. Wes Unseld. I think he passed away, but he was another undrafted. Not undrafted. I'm just saying he went from high school right to the NBA. So that's whose jersey it was, if you're wondering. So
yeah, the guy gave it to. What did he? Do you think someone like set that up?
I don't. I really don't. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's some fan, I think. He just wanted to...
I don't know. We'd have to look into it a little bit more because, I mean, I don't know if they mentioned, I mean, if they ended up finding out who was one that gave him the jersey or what. Yeah. But, almost ruined his eligibility. I don't really think, I mean, I keep forgetting, too, when I was watching the movie, I keep forgetting that he was in high school because, like...
Not college, right.
No, it's not college. Like, they only play, like, 10 games in high school. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, he's gonna miss a game or two. I mean, that's what it doesn't really matter. But I mean, when you miss 3 games out of 10, it's a big thing. Not that it really would have mattered.
No. Well, in the movie they said it was $1,800. It was. It was $890. It was $895. I got there because I dug into it a little bit. Yeah, you got $900. That's a lot of money back then, though. Still a lot of money. Decent. Yeah. I felt bad for him though from that. I don't think he had any idea. You learn real quick when you become he was like a mini star at the time. You start learning, people will take advantage of you. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
How about the the basketball sequences, they were done excellent. I mean, the photography, the choreography, I guess they did. It was to make the shots. They made everybody look good in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. There was
remember, these are a lot of basketball people.
And again too, I don't know how much Caleb's experience is in basketball, because it seems like he's been acting since he was a kid. So I don't know if he's got a lot of basketball experience, but it seemed like he was doing pretty well.
I'm trying to see here because we know he was a star, the first guy. Mook, what's his name again? I'm sorry. Mookie. Mookie Cook. Yeah.
Marcus Mookie, yep.
Let me see here. Let's see.
Avery Sorrell plays Willie McGee.
Yeah. Yeah, Willie McGee. They were saying, I quote, this is from one of the things I found. It says, it seems both the director and his cast understood that teaching athletes to act would be difficult but doable with some hard work. However, teaching actors to move and compete at a level befitting a young James and his immensely talented Fab Four, they mentioned them all. Robinson's commitment to authentic basketball didn't stop there. He revealed in his interview that he made sure that the cameraman that shoot the film all had a background in filming sports, not necessarily movies, the way all the moments of the court will have a slight X factor basketball fans will surely notice. Unfortunately, the games are part of the plot and therefore have a predetermined outcome. For that, Robinson had to rely on choreographies. Cast talent to make it look real. So he said we had no rehearsals but practices. He said so. They played a lot of basketball. Let's put it that way. So but the outcomes had to be the same. So that's hard to do, man. We don't think about all this. Is how they set it all up and show all the games.
Because again, it also it's choreography. It has to be outcome has to be a certain way.
Yeah.
One thing I guess I was waiting for. I'm kind of glad they didn't show it. I mean, I think it might have been a part of it. Is I was waiting for as soon as they go to the Saint Vincent, right. I was waiting for racial remarks. I was waiting for them to they didn't show too much because I'm like you see four all big black players or people going into an all. Not saying all white school, but the majority. Because again, they go to the first scene as they go to the gym, and they say, "Oh, look, it's black kids." Because they guess they didn't see them around anymore. And it's like,
right.
I was waiting for that okay, well,
yeah.
And I'm kind of glad they didn't really go too far into it.
Well, St. Vincent's did have some black players though.
Correct. Yes.
When they got there. Mm-hmm. Well, one scene is the guy up in the stands. Remember, they take his boy out.
Yeah,
and he's white.
I think because he was a freshman.
I understand.
Senior. Yeah,
I think that's the way LeBron probably. Well, I'm sure he had a lot to do with this movie. I'm sure he didn't want to make it that way, and I don't think he did. I never really got that feeling. I really didn't. I think, like you said, it was on the edge for a minute.
Yes, very true.
I never really got that feeling, so I like that.
They always touched upon it, and even too, again, we talked about how he grew up in a bad. They all grew up in a bad neighborhood and this and that. They just kind of they were playing basketball and they heard gunshots and they were like, so just keep playing. It didn't faze them. Yeah, it wasn't. It was part of the movie, but it wasn't thrown down your throat. You know what I mean?
How about when they played their own? Well, we didn't talk about this scene. How about the scene where the two fathers are in the car and the guy pulls up? Which is a black man because he's and because remember they didn't go to what was it Bucknell or I don't know what
Bushnell
maybe Bushnell. Yeah. He says to him and they throw the coffee or he throws something at the door. And I said to Linda, a perfect example. I said, "See, Lynn, it don't matter if you're white or black or black or black or white or white. It doesn't matter. People don't like you or they don't like what you did. They'll show it. And that's what I liked about the scene." They're all black, so it wasn't a racial.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't a racial. They could have easily made it, though.
Oh, yeah.
But it reminded me of the scene in Coach Carter. You remember when he ends up...
throws the rock through the...
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I agree totally with you. Yeah.
I meant to look up, too, if the coach, what's his name? Keith. The coach, when they first get there...
Yes.
if it all went down the way it did, as far as like him leaving in the middle of the championship game, and I meant to look that up, but I never did, so I'm not 100% sure.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I dug deep into this movie. Yeah. Hard to get information. It really was. It really was. It really was.
No, I agree. I agree too.
He does go to Akron. That's a true story. Mm-hmm. He goes to Akron College, and Romeo Travis follows him, and so does the other kid, the little kid. Yeah,
Little Drew.
What's his name? Little Drew. Yeah, he follows him. So they really do go to college.
That I believe, because I mean, again, they were good enough to play in college, but however,
Yeah. And a lot of them played overseas, too. You know that. A lot of the players play. There's a lot of great players in the NBA that are from Europe.
Yeah. Who was it that played? One of them played in, I think he's still playing in France or something. He's playing overseas. For 12 years.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who it is.
Is it Lil Drew or Willie McGee? I think it's Willie McGee.
I think it's Willie McGee, yeah. Yeah, he went over there. I think, but that's you still make good money, and you might get a chance to come here into the NBA. Like I said, there's tons of Europeans, and there's some of the best players in the league that play in the NBA now. So I mean, it's different now.
You're right, and it's something to be said. Is like not everybody's meant for the NBA. Not everyone's meant for the NFL.
No, you're right.
You can have a great career. Too, as you've seen it, it's a lot of luck.
It is.
You see, that's what what's his now wife Savannah is saying. What happens if you blow your knee out? You want to take the SATs? He could have easily blown his knee out, and that's
to this day he doesn't have a college degree. To this day,
no,
you don't need it now.
You get put out. You've seen them too. There's a ton of NFL stars that get drafted in the first pick,
right?
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
you get put on the wrong team and
nothing.
So again, it's a lot. It's a lot of luck. Who knows? He gets LeBron James gets drafted by another team and he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you're right. Right. Perfect example is one of the shows that you guys did. I didn't do it with you, but Moneyball. He's a 5-tool player. Remember Billy Beane? Going to be the next superstar. Mm-hmm. Turns out to be a bum.
A bum.
So that's something. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. It's weird how it works. Then you get people like, and I hate to say his name, but it's true, Tom Brady that nobody wanted, and we'll leave it at that. So
very true. It's very true.
In other words, the Cowboy guy, Emmitt Smith, holds the record for most rushing yards. He was like 5th round or something.
Really?
Well, there you go. But it's perfect. It's got to be a perfect scenario. So that's
you're right.
That helps too.
A lot of stars got to line up. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's see what we got
So,
here.
time wise too. The movie was a little bit longer, but at the same time, it needed to be that long because I was thinking.
Yes, I agree.
You had to basically show because again, a lot of it is not only his basketball career in high school, but it's got to show the chemistry between the kids.
Oh, no doubt about it, and I think it did. Yeah. And being at a Catholic school, they want more out of you, and I think I'm talking about the academic part of it.
Correct.
And I think it was funny when he shows him a C+. He was so happy to get a C+. And I think it was Little Drew. He says, "I got an A." Or one of them. I don't know who it was. Mm-hmm. Could have been McGee or something. But it was funny though. But I'm glad they showed that part too.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. And it just goes to show you, though, no matter where you live or where you've been, you get to the right scenario, your life could really be good. And I think for all these guys, their lives are pretty good to this day. So, and I guess they got them together, and the original members of that time, and they were very impressed with the movie. So, they really enjoyed it. Yeah, they liked a lot of the people. They said some of the people were just like them. If you know what I'm trying to say,
probably spot on.
Spot on, yeah.
And it's fun. Yeah, they got them all together.
Yeah.
But and again, a lot of it too is you have to practice at your craft. You have to. You see, and I've seen other kids that are, they ate, slept, and drank basketball.
Yeah.
I said when they weren't playing on basketball, they were playing video games. They were playing, basketball games. It never ended for them.
Hey, did Hai ever go to high school and play? Your buddy Hai.
He played. played a little bit of college. Yeah, he played high school.
Really? Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive.
For as I say, for people listening, I played in the rec league growing up as a kid. I was like, I wasn't a good player. Let's put it what it is. But yeah, this kid moved down the street from me, and he did the same thing as he was like 3 houses down from me, and that's all we did especially when he first moved there, is we played basketball all day and all night.
Yep.
And he went to play high school. He did. I don't remember how well they did. I think we did pretty well.
Right.
And he went to play college. I think he played college in Maine, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that's impressive just to play in any team from high school, really.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it has brought me back to a little bit because the first few scenes you see them, they got it's old school video camera, and they're showing playing at the rec league. I was like, wow, it was bringing me back a little bit.
Oh, I know. We got some videos, I think, of that.
I know you do. Yeah,
I got them somewhere. I got all kinds of stuff.
And where was it going? And it was cool, when I played with a lot of the kids in that ended up playing on the high school team. I knew pretty much everybody that played on the high school varsity team.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's good. So for Hamden, was that Hamden?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Hamden. Okay, yeah. Right.
And also another sad thing too is you see one of the kids I used to play with who was very talented.
Right.
And you see his life went down a different path. And
wow. That's a shame.
And it was like, it was a shame to see where it led to, because I think he played freshman year and that was really about it.
Wow.
Went down. You see what kind of road some of these kids leave, and
I know. I know it's hard. Go down the wrong path, unfortunately. Yeah.
Hang out with the wrong people.
Yeah.
And what's that?
Oh, here's an interesting thing. I just saw it here. It was on our things. I don't know. The real Romeo Travis, that's played by Scoot Henderson, is one of the head coaches for one of the teams, the Fighting Irish play early in the movie.
Correct. And I think one of the other kids is he's a referee. He was a referee in the game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Saw that too. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I did end up looking up. Carmelo Anthony actually ended up playing with LeBron James on the Lakers.
Yeah, he played with the Lakers and he played for the Knicks.
He played with
played for the Knicks.
He played for a lot. For the Knicks, he was known for. But he played on a lot of teams. I had to look him up.
A lot of teams, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I was just trying to get the timeline for Linda, so I said, no, Linda, it's even Jordan. People don't realize really he was coming in when Bird and Magic and them were old already.
Yeah. And the other thing too is LeBron went right out of high school. Jordan played in college.
Went to college, yeah.
Which is another thing you want to throw out. I was like, I wonder what would have happened if he went right to the NBA after high school.
Yeah. He might not have been that great. You never know. No idea. Yeah.
But, and then also too is how long did Jordan play for? Not as long as LeBron played.
Well, LeBron's 30. What did we say he was?
LeBron's 39.
Wow. He's been playing since he was 19. I think.
So that's the other thing people don't realize too is the amount of years Jordan played to LeBron and what they both were able to accomplish.
Yeah,
and especially Jordan be able to accomplish that, and he took a year off to play baseball.
yeah, that's true. You're right. That's a good point. Yeah, and I think LeBron's won 4 championships. Mm-hmm. Jordan won not many
5.
more, maybe 5.
I think 5.
But hey, little shout out to Tom Brady. You could win 7 Super Bowls, but you'll never beat Bill Russell, the Boston Celtics back in the 50s and 60s. He won 13 rings. Or 12, something like that.
No,
that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. And it's something to be said of like, people, we've talked about this, the GOAT conversation. It's like, you can't just account for rings and championships. It is a big factor.
I agree with you.
But, again, there's also circumstances. It's like, who knows if Dan Marino had a better team.
I agree. It's funny you said that, because I said that to Linda yesterday. Dan Marino, I hated his guts. But when I was watching back then, he was one of the I wish he was on my team. They could have drafted him. They missed him. They took O'Brien instead of him.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I wish they had taken him. He had a good team like today. If he was on like the Patriots of Brady's time with the defense and the offensive line, my God, probably would have won every year.
I think the Bears had a shot at what's the guy on the Chiefs? Mahomes.
Oh, Mahomes.
Didn't the Bears have a shot at Mahomes? And they traded down or up to get what's his face?
Yeah,
Mitch Trubisky or whatever his name was.
Like Mahomes wasn't first pick.
No,
he wasn't. No, he wasn't first pick. I didn't even know who he was. I know who he is. Mm-hmm. He's the ex-Met pitcher. Can't remember his name now. He's a pretty good pitcher. He was the Mets back in the I don't know when it was, 80s or what, 90s, whatever it was. That's his son. Yeah, so I know his father's a really good athlete. Yeah, but when I seen him get picked, I said, "Who's this guy, Patrick Mahomes?"
Who's this guy? Yeah.
Well,
and now he's got a $500 million contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, look at you guys when you won that year with Rodgers. I mean, and you should have won a whole bunch more. But you had a great offensive line, a real good defense, good running backs, good receivers. It all clicked.
Yeah.
You got to have them all, just like Favre at that time, So.
And here's the other thing too with basketball. Again, you've seen is again the game has changed, and that's with basketball or football is basketball. There's no big power center like Shaq. I mean,
no.
What's his face is they have a few guys here and there, but they all can shoot 3-pointers.
They can, yeah.
I'm trying to think. The guy from the German guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh yeah, the two brothers there, from Milwaukee. Yeah,
he's big. The guy in the Lakers is big, but just again, I mean, if he faces Shaq in the prime, forget.
Well, remember the rules have changed a lot too now. Like Wilt Chamberlain always used to say before he passed away, he says, and Wilt was unbelievable back then. With the rules today where you can't touch anybody, who would stop Wilt? Wilt scored he averaged 50 points a game one year. Think about what I just said to you. 50. It's
for a center.
He would destroy these guys because they couldn't touch him. The rules are different now. He could go right in and just see you later. But once again, back then, defense was a big thing back then. You could defend. You could do hand checks. All that stuff. Hand checks and all. You can't do that no more. So, I mean, you can't put your hand on anything because they want scoring. That's what they want today. It's such a different game today.
I know.
And the first time I seen LeBron James on TV. I had never seen him before. This is when he came up. I don't know. He might have been in the league 3 or 4 years. The Knicks were horrible, so I really didn't watch too much.
Yeah.
So I saw him, and I said to myself, a guy at work, I'll say, this guy's a monster. And he plays like he's 5'6", and he's Spud Webb out there. He's a monster, and he can do everything. Big, fast, quick, can shoot, can do it all. But, and it's, like I said, he's won 4 championships. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, so he's as the movie said, he's done okay.
He's done. I like that. Didn't you like the end that way?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was
good to see him at the end. He's done okay. Linda was happy about that. She didn't want it to. She didn't want the end where he won 4 things and all this stuff. And I'm glad he didn't do it that way.
Well, and also again too is I kind of like the fact that the movie just wasn't about LeBron. Exactly. Because it was about. I mean, again, Lil Drew. I think he had the majority of the lines.
Yeah.
Again, he's the actor, but it was about him and his struggles because again they were calling him short.
Yeah,
and he was too small. Do you remember the guy? The one coach. We got another shout out to the guy from Walking Dead, Tyrone. Did you catch that?
Oh no, I didn't know.
He was the coach for the other team, for the team they were supposed to go to.
Oh, the black guy, the big guy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He's from Walking Dead.
That was a good little. Oh, I got to check into that now.
And they were already calling him. You'll play JV. You're too short.
I know. That's horrible. I know.
He's like, gee, thanks, sure.
Well, he proved them wrong. He ended up going to college and playing 4 years.
Yeah.
So but. Yeah, that's pretty good. It was good. I like that one scene in the end there where they're all together, all dressed, and they got their hands together, and they all go together. I like that. That was nice.
The Irish. Is Notre Dame in Ohio? Okay.
Yeah, Notre Dame
is
in.
Or is it?
I'm trying to think of where it is. Notre Dame. It's in
Illinois.
It's got to be up that way. Pop it in there. Just check it out real quick. What's the name of it? I know the name of where it is. I don't know what the high school, but Notre Dame College.
Bear with us, everyone. People are probably shouting at us.
I know.
Yeah, it's Ohio.
It's Ohio. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So that's where they got the fighting Irish. So I don't know how far away, but I mean it's understandable because they're both Catholic schools.
Yeah.
So
you know what's funny? Look at his name. That's what I was looking at. Drew's name. It's the guy that plays him. I'm not saying that's him. The guy that plays him. His name is Caleb McLaughlin. Now I'm sorry, but where I come from, he's Irish, but he's not. He's black. So I don't know. Maybe he's got some Irish descent. I didn't look into that, but it's not a big deal. But I just looked at the name. I'm saying that's an Irish name.
He's from New York. He's a native New Yorker. Studied at the Harlem School of Arts.
Okay.
Under Aubrey Lynch.
Okay.
She's the former Lion King producer.
Oh wow.
And director of the dance. He's started. He put him in arts. So the fact that he's been in an art school.
Yes,
it's kind of shocking considering all again, he played a basketball. Not to say he didn't play basketball on the court, but
right.
He's an arts guy.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good part. You can always get parts in Broadway, and that moves you up to regular movies.
People don't realize too. A lot of actors and actresses gone to art school and Juilliard, and their background. You'll notice a lot of these actors you don't think could sing. I mean, look at someone like Bradley Cooper. He can sing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's
can't
his
think
name?
off the top of my head.
The Wolverine. He can sing too.
Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't won a Tony. To be honest with you.
I know. And remember, these people love to go back to Broadway and be in shows. They like it because the fans are right there. The people are right there. There's no acting. They just go out and do their thing, and I think they love it. I mean, a lot of them will always say that they love to go to Broadway when they get a little bit older and do some Broadway. So I think it's enjoyable for them.
Let me see here. I'm trying to think. I like the funny scene where he's like I hate tattoos. He says,
"Oh yeah, when he gets a cow. Remember what's that? A cow on your arm? Yeah." And
then I was like, he's covered in them now.
I wonder if he has it anymore. That's what I was wondering. He might. Nah, it's probably been redone.
Yeah, I'm sure it got redone.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been redone. Yeah.
I was waiting to some of the other like little minor scenes, like they go to these house parties, which they probably could have cut out, but I was waiting for like a fight to break out because normally a lot of times growing up in high school, you go to a house party, usually something bad happens.
Because somebody said to one of them, said, what are you guys doing here?
Especially if you go to another like not a rival school, but another school.
Yeah. That was that team. Whatever it's called.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, yeah.
But
I guess it said the principal photography, we'll just give you an idea how long it took, began on April 18, 2022 in Beechwood, Ohio. Filming lasted until June 2022, so they really zipped this up. Among the locations used for filming was St. Paul's Episcopal Church.
Gotcha.
So
you said it is when did the film from December?
April 18th, 2022 to June 22.
April to June for 3 months.
Yeah, they knocked it out. Yeah, that's when it started. Principal photography. So maybe there's probably some editing and stuff in that, but I mean, yeah. So and then the film lasted until June 2022. Yeah,
I wonder how much, because again that's right after the NBA season, right?
Very good. Pretty much. Well, April 18th is still in the NBA season, but you're right. Yeah.
So I wonder how much he had to do with.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the filming.
I'm sure. Again, we tried looking how how much he had to do with it, but I'm sure on off season, I'm sure he might have been there.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I think that's all I got. I think we touched upon on everything, huh?
Yeah, we did really well. Actually, this was a good one. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed watching it. I learned a lot of stuff about him I didn't know.
You want to go into ratings?
Yeah.
IMDb gave this a 6.5, which I think is a little low considering. Maybe because it's a newer movie.
Well, maybe.
And the fact that it's on Peacock, so it's probably not a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I hate that when they rate movies like that. I mean,
yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, 6.5. I thought the movie was. I think the movie was long enough. It had to explain a lot of stuff.
You're right. We don't like too long movies, but it had to cover a lot.
Yeah, you got 4 years of high school. Yeah, you got
Very
play
true.
And everything. I like the cast. A lot of youngsters in there that did a good job. That Mookie Cook did a good job for his first movie. And you got your couple of Wood Harris and Dermot Mulroney. Excellent. Wood Harris always does a good job. Yeah, I loved it. It's really simple for me. I'm going to give it like a 7.5. I loved it. I thought it was much better than a 6.5. I'd watch it again. I would. I'd watch it again.
7.5. That's a good rating.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of the other ratings that we got, like for some of the the last good basketball movie that we done with was like just exactly as we did. Where the hell was it? Just had it. Glory Road. Glory Road. You ranked it at 8.2.
Yeah.
So it's
pretty much. Yeah, Corey, excellent movie. Very similar. It's just that it's not LeBron James.
Correct.
It's just a different kind. But yeah, excellent movie.
You're right. So I'm going to go, I did Glory Road. I ranked it a 7.8. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'll probably actually go around you, 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah, IMDb, that was a low number.
It was a good movie. Action was great.
Yeah, it was.
Again, I think Kid Caleb was awesome. And, I think he had the chops. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a part I didn't dislike. I think it was good. Brown. I like some of the younger scenes when they were kids because it brought me back to a little bit.
That bring you back to when you were playing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good movie. It's not one of my favorite basketball movies.
No.
But I think it was definitely up there as one of the good ones.
Yep, and I liked it for another reason, and I don't mean to say this, but it's true. They didn't use the race card in the movie. I thought that was excellent. There was no reason to. So I don't know how true that was with his, but I think it was. I do think it was. I think it was pretty legit the whole time.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think too. I guess for that time. So I mean, he was in high school in the early 2000s. So I'm sure there was some.
Oh, I'm sure there was. I mean,
some probably. Again, I think it kind of phased out. Yeah.
I
think it was a good movie. Good movie.
All right.
I'm going to put a poll up later on, and I know because we got to talk a little bit too after, and we'll put the poll up, and that'll be that.
Okay.
So, anything else you got before we wrap it up?
That's it.
All right. That's it. That's the ball game.